So before we get into the video, I know I will get so many comments about where my jumper's from, and it's actually from a Dundee based little small business run by one girl called Courtney, and their Instagram is at wildvioletclothing_. Yeah, they have loads and loads of new stock in. This is just one of my favourites. They've got a couple of loungewear sets. They've got a black and white one, they've got a new one that's like a beige one, and they have some lingerie, some black lingerie, a red bodysuit out, and also a new t-shirt which basically says the same slogan as this, but it's black and it's just a little t-shirt. So yeah, definitely go and head over to their Instagram, have a look at their clothing, because honestly it is so nice, and it is really nice to support your small businesses, especially in times like this. So yeah, and they do ship to all of the UK, so it's not just for people based in Dundee. They do ship to everywhere in the UK, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get into it. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, this is a relationship Q&A. I asked you guys over on Instagram if you would like to see a Q&A all about relationships, and it was like 90% yes. So yeah, I would just like to say I'm obviously not a relationship counsellor, I am not a relationship goddess, I don't know. I am not somebody to be completely taking advice from, but yeah, I just wanted to make this little Q&A because some of you guys really wanted to know the story that happened with my ex I was on about in my last video. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. So as usual, I have my questions on my phone. So yeah, there is actually quite a lot of questions, so I'll try and go through like the shorter ones a bit quick. So yeah, the first question is there an age difference between you and your boyfriend? It's obviously Declan. You've seen him in my Liverpool vlog if you've watched that. If not, go over to my channel and watch that. Yeah, there actually is. There's nearly 2 years difference, so I'm away to be 19 in July and Declan will be 21 in August. So yeah, nearly 2 years difference. So yeah, that's the first question. The next question is, do you have any regrets in your current or past relationship? I wouldn't say I really have any regrets, because I think that everything you do, like, you know, like the butterfly effect, like if you didn't do one thing then another thing would happen. So yeah, I don't really regret like going out with people or whatever, but the one thing that I do regret is putting up with some of the stuff that I did in my last relationship. So yeah, I wish I was able to tell my younger self now that really you shouldn't be putting up with that, and you don't need to put up with that, because there are people who are going to treat you a lot better. So yeah, that is the second question. So not in like relationships, kind of like I don't regret going out with people or whatever, but I do regret having like putting up with as much stuff as I did, because I didn't need to, and I was really young. Like when I had my last boyfriend I was 15, 16, so really young. So yeah, the next question is, what did you do to move on? And the truth is, I'm just not somebody that gets like, I do obviously get upset, but like I don't cry. It's honestly, everyone I know, if you've watched Britain's Got Talent this year, you'll have seen all the acts that made everybody cry. I just sit there and like look at them like, I'm like, yeah, that's a good act, and then my mum's sitting there like crying her eyes out, and I'm just looking at her like, okay. Like obviously I know it's upsetting, and I know that like it's not that I don't feel sad, it's just I don't cry. So yeah, so it is really weird. Like I just like deal with stuff a lot more differently, and I feel like me and my ex-boyfriend didn't end on very good terms really. Like when we broke up, it wasn't because of a certain thing, it was just that he broke up with me, just he said he didn't want the relationship anymore, which is completely fair enough. But yeah, like it just like the relationship wasn't good, or I found out stuff like after we'd broken up that had happened while we were going out and stuff, and it was really toxic, and like the breakup just kind of went on forever and ever. But I would say that my top tip is delete them. If you don't have to keep them, like if you don't have kids or anything, don't have them on social media or their number or anything, just block them. Don't have them on anything, because it is just going to tempt you to text them, or if they text you, you'll be tempted to reply. So yeah, my advice is just block them, get them out of your life. Don't listen. Like I blocked my ex and I had loads of his pals popping up to me being like, can you please talk to him, can you please talk to him? And I'm like, no, like I don't want to, like he's blocked for a reason, like yeah. Yeah, so my advice really is how to like move on from people is just, if you don't need to keep them, like if you don't have kids together, which is like basically the, or if you're not expecting a kid together, like if you have no reason like to keep them in your life, don't have them on social media, don't have their number, nothing, because yeah, as I said, it just tempts you to want to text them and want to speak to them, and like you don't need to. So yeah, just block them, out of sight out of mind, as they say. So yeah, that would kind of be my only advice I have. Like how I moved on isn't like that way, but yeah, I think I just kind of learned that I deserved better than what I was getting, really. So yeah, but I would say if you don't need to keep them in your life, then don't, just delete them and that's fine, and don't listen to what anybody else has to say about it. If that's what you want to do it. So yeah, I feel like everyone moves on different ways, so yeah, that's kind of the only advice I can give. The next question is, how is lockdown without your boyfriend? And pretty sad actually. Like if you're in lockdown with your boyfriend or girlfriend, I am so jealous of you, like ridiculously jealous. Yeah, it's not nice. Like this is the longest me and Declan have been apart in like the over a year that we've been going out. Like it's just, yeah, it's a bit rubbish, but obviously stay at home, save lives, wash your hands. Yeah, it's just rubbish. There's not much more to say. It is rubbish. FaceTime doesn't really cut it. Yeah, and this is coming from somebody that was in a long distance relationship. Like my ex-boyfriend was in the army, so obviously I never got to see him when he was in the army down south as well, so I really never got to see him. When he was in phase 1 I got to see him maybe every 2 weeks, he'd come up. Then when he got moved down for his phase 2 training, it was away down, can't remember the name of it, it was ages ago, but moved away down, it was way down south, and he was actually from near London, so I would travel down there once a month to see him. Yeah, so this is coming from somebody that's been in a long distance relationship, and even I'm not liking it. So yeah, it must be really hard for people that are really used to seeing their boyfriends like all the time. Like I've never ever had a long distance relationship or anything. It must be really hard, and yeah, I hope everyone's okay in lockdown, and just don't let it go to your head. I know it's hard, but just don't let it affect your mental health, because that is the worst thing that you can do. Just try and do everything, use that one exercise. Actually, is it now 1 up to 2 in Scotland? I know it has in England, but I can't remember if it has in Scotland. But yeah, use your exercise time, go out for a walk, run, cycle, whatever. Just yeah, use it, because it really does help. And make sure you are still speaking to friends and stuff and family, even though it's on the phone, just make sure you are. So yeah, I hope everyone's okay in lockdown, and stay home, stay safe, and wash your hands. The next question actually annoyed me. It was, do you think boys and girls can be friends with nothing going on between them? My boyfriend doesn't think that you can. This really annoys me, because I have boy pals that I've been pals with since I was like 14, 15, and it's just, nothing's ever happened, nothing's ever going to happen. Like it's just, they're just pals. Like I really don't understand like what everyone's big issue is. Like it's always like, oh, my girlfriend's got a boy best friend and he's always messaging her, he's always Snapchatting her, he's this, and every time we see him he always comes up and gives her a hug and blah blah, and it's just like, and like I'm sure like if one of my girl pals was to come up to me and give me a hug if I seen them out, then there wouldn't be an issue. So what's the difference with my boy pals? And yeah, like I'd actually think I'd be a bit like upset if one of my boy pals didn't come up and say hi if they seen me on a night out. But yeah, like as I said, I've had boy pals that I've had for like 4, 5, 6 years, and it's just pals. Like you can't, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you just think like, no, they're just pals. Like it's just their name. Like it's like you'll never think of them in like that way, like a relationship way, or like anything. They just wouldn't. I don't know how to understand it, but yes, definitely boys and girls can be pals without anything going on. I am a prime example. I have maybe 4 or 5 boy pals, and it's just pals, never anything more, just pals. So my answer to that question is yes, and you can tell your boyfriend that I said yes, girls and boys can be pals without anything going on. So that's all I have to say. The next question is, should your partner be able to go through your phone? I can't speak for everybody, but in my relationship, I know Declan's password, Declan knows my password. If I wanted to go on his phone, I would. Like, I wouldn't ever go on his phone without having reason to. Like, I would never just go and like snoop through his phone, like, while he's like sleeping or whatever. Like, I wouldn't do that. But I do know that, like, if say, like, for instance, if I was to be told that something was going on between Declan and a certain girl, I would go on his phone and see if there was any texts or that they'd been phoning or anything like that, FaceTiming, whatever. I would go on his phone and check that. I wouldn't ever do it just because, like, just because I can. And yeah, I've never really had any reason to. I've maybe done it a few times, just like, oh, I wonder what's going on, like, but it's not like he's not in the room with me. It's just like, I'll be sitting and I'll be like, oh, who's texting you? Like, I'll be like asking questions and stuff. But yeah, I think that your boyfriend or girlfriend should be able to go through your phone without any, like, issues. To be honest, I don't see the harm in it, unless obviously you do have something to hide. I think people only get annoyed or don't give you their password, like boyfriend and girlfriends don't give you your password, if there is something going on or something that they don't want you to see on their phone. Because why else? Like, what is the difference? Like, my password to my phone is my birthday. Like, if anyone ever stole my phone and they knew who I was, it would be so easy to get into my phone. Like, it's so easy, like, anybody could guess it. So my pals all know my password, like Declan knows my password. I don't see the issue in it, to be honest. So yeah, I do think that boyfriends and girlfriends should be able to go through each other's phone without, like, a big fallout about it, basically. Somebody said, mention what happened with your ex. I don't know if they mean like what happened, like why we broke up, or if they mean just like mention everything that happened, because I did say about it in my last video. Yeah, right. So I'm not going to mention names. Probably everybody will know his name that watches my videos. Well, most people will anyway, because they'll probably be from Dundee. But yeah, I'm not going to mention names. But basically, me and my ex went out when we were, well, I was 15/16 and he was 16/17. There was like just over a year between us, I think. Maybe like just over a year between us. So basically we got introduced through a mutual friend. He was in the army, like my friend was in the army and so was my ex. They met through obviously the army, and my friend brought my ex up to kind of meet all his friends through on a long weekend that they had. And what was it? Yeah, it was either a long weekend or like a holiday leave thing. Yeah, so met through that, and we just kind of, yeah, it was really good, we were fine. We started going out in the February, was it February 2017, so that's like 3 years ago now. Yeah, so we started going out then. It was fine at the start. There was like an instant where like we were just kind of like talking, and he slept with somebody else, and it was just like but you can't really be annoyed because we weren't actually together, so it was just a bit like okay, like whatever. Then we actually did get together, and it was fine, and we were all fine up until the May. So this is May 2017, and obviously if you're from Scotland you know that most exams happen in the May, and I was 15 doing my Nat 5 exams. And yeah, so basically what happened is I was sleeping in my bed, and my ex-boyfriend was up on leave. If you don't know, leave from the army is like a little holiday, so you get like a week, a couple weeks or whatever. He was up on leave, and basically what happened was one of my friends was up up at one of my friends, like our mutual friend's house, and she decided she didn't want to stay there, so she messaged, well, she said that she messaged me. I don't remember getting any messages in the morning, like waking up to having like messages, but apparently what she had done is she had messaged me. I was obviously sleeping, so my ex-boyfriend replied and said like she wanted to come and stay at mine, so my ex-boyfriend replied saying yeah, that's fine, just come up, like I'm sure Cara wouldn't mind, which no, I wouldn't have, but still, like, don't invite people up to my house if I don't know about it. Like, you could have just woken me up and been like, oh, she's wanting to, I nearly said her name, she's wanting to come up to stay because she doesn't want to stay at her pals anymore, and I would have just said yeah, that's fine. But he didn't wake me up. So apparently, and this is what she said that happened, he's never really said anything in the story. I don't really want to listen to his story, to be honest, because it's horrible what happened. So yeah, basically, obviously we've been going out a few months, this is like a few months down the line, and basically she arrived, she got a taxi from her friend's house to my house. My ex-boyfriend met her outside of my house, like outside the front door, and basically they went in and slept together in my house when I was sleeping. Yes, I know, very horrible, I don't need all the comments saying that it was, because I know it was very, very horrible, and yeah. But plot twist, this was the day of my Nat 5 history exam. So yeah, I woke up the next morning, went away to my exam, I got a B in it, so you know, it was fine. But yeah, I went away to my exam, didn't know anything about this, that this had happened. None of them told me. This, I'm not joking, this is somebody that was my best friend. Did everything together, inseparable, just never were apart, just always together, like that type of friend, like your best friend. Best friend, I'll say. And yeah, by the way, if she is watching this video, I don't care that I'm speaking about you. If he's watching this video, I don't care that I'm speaking about you. You're both horrible people. So yeah, haha, joke's on you really. So before I get thousands of messages from their pals, or well, not him because I have him blocked, but her, yeah, I'm not bothered. You can message me, or whatever, your pals can message me as much as they want, I don't care. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. So yeah, none of them told me that this had happened. So I just went on, I came home from my Nat 5 history exam. Obviously they were still together, so I don't know, anything could have happened while I was away at that exam as well. We don't know, but well, they'll know, I don't know. Yeah, so basically I came back, everything was fine, and then I can't even remember what I said, but it just made it, like, my ex really annoyed, and he ended up like getting really annoyed and he left. And actually she went with him, and they went to my pal's house. She went with them because we were screaming and shouting at each other. I can't even remember what it was over, I just remember being so annoyed, and he was just really annoyed, and basically we broke up. And I ended up going to our pal's house, and then everything was like resolved and it was fine. Obviously me still not knowing that anything like that had happened, but yeah, so yeah, that was like the biggest thing that happened. There was other things, like he made me delete one of my really good pals, hi if you're watching, because he was a boy. I had to delete him, like, on everything, I'm not joking, like even Facebook and everything. Like, it was just so weird, because he was adamant that something was going on. I still remember being accused of being in my relationship with my ex and one of my pals, who I'm still pals with to this day. But yeah, I remember that was a big thing. I was accused of that like a million times. There was just like, anytime he was like down in the arm, like down at the army base, I would be with my boy pal, and we were like having this secret, really like an affair basically, which obviously was not the case. So yeah, obviously that was not the case, and yeah, there was just like, we'd break up and get back together and break up and get back together, and it was just so stupid and like, yeah, just so weird. But yeah, anyway, so that all ended up happening. We ended up breaking up in the January of 2018, either the January or the February of 2018, so it was nearly a year's relationship. And then again, it was just like we were seeing each other and whatever, and then it was actually one of his pals that we were kind of mutual pals with as well, like not really, but kind of, picked me up from, well, me and my pal up from a night out and was like, oh, it's mental what happened with your ex and your pal, isn't it? And I was like, what? Obviously none the wiser. And he was like, oh my god, like, do you not know? And I was like, obviously not, like, tell me what happened. So he told me obviously the story I've just told you guys, and I was just sitting in the back of the car like absolutely gob smacked, okay? Like literally in disbelief that that happened. Anyway, when I got in, did I phone her? I think I phoned him first and was just going mental. I remember just saying, don't you ever talk to me again, and blah blah blah, like going mental. And then I phoned her, who denied it, even though my ex had already told me that it had happened, and his pal had already told me that it happened as well. So she denied it. But anyway, that was that. All done and dusted. I didn't see him again. It was just like, okay, whatever, like bye. Yeah, so that's basically what happened with my ex. We don't talk anymore. We're not mutual, we're not civil, nothing. I do not talk to her anymore, and yeah, we never really had like this big argument or like fallout or anything. It was just kind of like, right, okay, just don't speak to me, like that's that. Actually, and then there was a thing when me and Declan were going out. I can't actually remember when it was, but I remember it was before I passed my test, so it was before the March. So me and Declan must have only been going out maybe like 1 or 2 months while seeing each other, like 1 or 2 months. And yeah, it was just a bit weird. Like basically my ex came to my house. Bearing in mind, this is January or February 2019. No, yeah, January or February of 2019 that this happened. We'd been broken up since like the January or February of 2018, and like had not spoke since like the May-June 2018. Met Declan in the December. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. And he turned up at my house absolutely steaming. It was obviously on a night out. It was like 4 in the morning or something. I ended up having to phone him a taxi. The taxi guy brought him back. Never even got to the top of my street, which if you know where I stay, you'll know it's just like a couple bendy turns, and then you get to the top of my street where there's the junction. Didn't even get to the top of the street and he was brought back. So I ended up having to phone one of his pals that came and got him, and then that was that. Yeah, it's just all a bit weird and strange, but yeah, so that happened. But yeah, that's basically all the story I have with my ex. Like, that's what happened. I hope you two are watching. Red face for you. So yeah, that's what happened with me and my ex. For everybody that asked, because I'm not joking, that was asked like 1,000,000 times. So I'm not joking, not 1,000,000, it was asked like 4 times. So there you go for all the people that were asking. That's what happened. I hope you're all now satisfied. Next question is, how is your current relationship different to your last? It's so different. Like, it's just insane. Like, you realise how much you actually put up with and how much you didn't need to put up with. Like, as I said, like my boy pal that I've been pals with for maybe nearly 4 or 5 years, I don't know, but yeah, I got told to delete him when I was going out with my ex, so obviously I have him back on social media now. And yeah, every time he would like message me, or we were messaging each other or anything like that, I would always feel like I needed to like explain myself to Declan, and Declan was just like, you really don't need to like explain what you were saying, like I'm really not bothered. Yeah, I don't know, I guess you just feel a bit more like relaxed, I guess, when you've been treated so badly in the past, and then someone comes along and they're like half decent. Declan, if you're watching, yeah. Yeah, it's just really different, and in a good way, obviously. Me and my ex never really did anything like went away on like nights away or anything. Like, if I was going down to see him, we'd stay in a hotel, but it's not really the same because it's always like the same place. Whereas like me and Declan, we've been to Aberdeen, Glasgow, Liverpool. Is that it? Aberdeen, Glasgow, Liverpool. Oh, we were supposed to be going to Newcastle obviously last month, but this all happened. so obviously we didn't get to go, but yeah, like it's just nice to be able to like do stuff and go out and like go on dates and stuff like that. So yeah, me and my ex didn't really do anything like that. It was just a bit, I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, it is really different, and it's just different because I am treated obviously a lot better, and I know now not to put up with things that I would have put up with in the past, because you do not deserve anything less than what you are giving the other person. So yeah, advice from Cara. The next question is, how did your last relationships end? I've only really had one past relationship. I guess you could say I've had two, but like not really. But my relationship with my ex ended in, I think I said, yeah, either the January or the February 2018, and yeah, it was just, I don't know, like I just got a message one day, I was just messaging him away and blah blah, we were fine, and then he just said he didn't want to go with me anymore, and like, okay. So yeah, there's not really much to say. Yes, I got broken up with over text, very cowardly of him. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. The next question is, how did your boyfriend ask you out? So there's actually two stories to this, because one, it was when I was in Slovenia with the college. Me and I think three girls that I was there with, hi for watching, not that I was there with, but like 3 out of the girls that I was there in Slovenia with were drinking one night. Oh my god, we had, I couldn't even tell you the amount, oh my god, there's fly. I can't even tell you the amount of cocktails that we had that night. We were all getting like rounds, so like I would go and buy one round for all of us, the next person would go, blah blah, and I'm not joking, I think we all spent about £100 nearly that night. So if that doesn't show you how many cocktails we had, I don't know what would. And a round would cost probably about 20, maybe not even £20 a round, so yeah. So very drunk, very steaming, and basically we were all like bullying Declan into it. What a shame. We were all like messaging him being like, you're not gonna ask her out, ha. So that's when I kind of got asked to like start being a bit more, not like serious, I don't know, they just sound so stupid, but like just be like exclusive basically. We already were, but it was just like nice to have a mask. And then in the September, so this was in the April, in the September we were just lying in bed and he basically just said like, do you want to be my girlfriend, like this is a bit stupid now, and I was like, yeah, it is really stupid. So yeah, that's basically it. So technically me and Declan, well actually technically me and Declan have been together since December 2018, so over a year and a half, kind of, nearly. But if you want to be actually technical, we basically had our 1 year in lockdown, and then if you want to be really technical, our proper year isn't until September. So yeah, that's that's that basically. The next question is, what has been your longest relationship? And it's actually the one I'm in now, and me and Declan, as I have literally just said, it's been together from December 2018. We were started properly seeing each other in the April, and then actually started going out in the September. So yeah, it's the one I'm in now, actually. The last question is, what is the most romantic thing you've done for each other? Me and Declan are like the least romantic couple you will ever meet in your life. Ever. I don't know, we're just not into that. Like, I would say that the most romantic thing we've ever done for each other is probably when we took each other to Liverpool for Christmas. I got the hotel and Declan got the train ticket. Yeah, so I would say that that's the most romantic thing we've ever done for each other. Not very romantic, but nice. I also took Declan to Glasgow when we went to Glasgow as well, so yeah, I guess that's the most romantic things we've ever done for each other. It's not very exciting because we're not very romantic couple, but yeah, that's kind of it. Not much more to say about that. So that was all the questions. I can already tell this video is so long, so I'm really sorry if you don't like long videos, but I hope you've made it this far and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below because it really does help me out, grow my channel and stuff as well. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!